So I went to go see Barbie for a second time. If you saw my last video, you know that I went to go see it opening night along with Oppenheimer, and my experience on the movie was completely mixed. There were things I loved about it, and there were a lot of things I did not love about it. I felt so disconnected from the rest of the world because everyone else seemed to be loving this movie, and I just could not get behind it. So a few days later, I went back and tried it again, and when I tell you I had a different experience, that is the understatement of the century. I can't tell you why, and I can't tell you what changed it, but my experience watching Barbie for the second time was a night and day difference from the first time. Throughout my second watch, I don't think I lost a smile the entire movie. I found myself laughing at every single joke. The messaging of the movie was perfectly done, perfectly handled, and very well balanced. I was completely blown away. 2/3 through the movie, I remember sitting there thinking to myself, I am loving this. What is happening? All the things I loved from my first watch, I continue to enjoy, but almost all of the things I didn't love in my first watch, I found myself enjoying on a second watch. I really can't explain my switch on this. I am as baffled as you are. Even though I have no clue how or why my opinion changed so drastically on this movie, I am certainly not complaining about it. But after a second watch, it really got me thinking on something I've been thinking on quite a lot lately, and that is how so many things can affect our enjoyment of a movie. Whether it's the mood you're in when you watch it, the stressful day you've had, preconceived notions about the film, or anything, you name it. There are so many things that can not only affect the enjoyment of a film, but also change your perception of what it is. And watching the Barbie movie to me was the clearest example I've seen in my life of that in quite a long time. One thing I think we can't forget is that you bring yourself to the movies. When you sit down to watch a movie or when you go to the movie theater, you're not always going to be able to leave your baggage at the door. A lot of times you're bringing your stressful day from work into the movie theater. You're bringing your intrusive thoughts into the movie theater. Everything you experienced in the day and everything you have on your shoulders at that moment can often affect the outcome of your enjoyment of a movie. And I think that is totally okay. Like for me with Barbie, I had a night and day experience between my first and my second watch. And while I have no idea why that was, it could have been anything. During my first watch of Barbie, I missed a ton of the dialogue because the girl next to me was on her phone for most of the movie and talking. And also the theater I went to see it in was a much lower quality theater where the audio wasn't as good and the screen was not as crisp. While on my second viewing, I got to go to an RPX screen, which is basically Regal's version of IMAX. So not only were the people in the theater quieter, but the screen was massive and the sound was amazing. And pair all that with the fact that I didn't have a stressful day. At the moment, there was nothing weighing on my shoulders, nothing consuming my mind. I could just sit, get lost, and enjoy Barbie Land. So as usual, I don't have any grand point or anything. I've just been thinking a lot lately about how much our mood and the time can affect our enjoyment of a film. And with my recent experience going to see Barbie and experiencing just that, I feel like I had to talk about it. But I think the most important thing is just always keeping an open mind. I didn't love Barbie the first time I watched it, but I made sure to leave the door open to try again in case I learned to love it. And I'm not saying forcing yourself to love something. I went to see The Flash on opening night, didn't love it, went back to see it again and liked it even less. So I'm not saying just force yourself to love things. So all I'm saying is if you didn't enjoy a movie, always give it a second chance because it may not be the movie's fault. It could very well be what you brought to the movie. All that being said, I want to hear your thoughts. What's a movie that you've seen multiple times that has changed drastically for you with each viewing? How many times have you seen Barbie and how many times are you going to see it? Honestly, after my last watch, I'm now considering going to see it a third time, but we'll see. Let's not get crazy. Thanks so much for watching, guys.